Hey everybody, welcome back. Today we're looking at some bosses, entitled bosses that got instant karma after an employee quit or got fired. So petty. The fact that I am going to very much enjoy this just shows how petty I really am. My boss just deactivated my coworker's email who just quit too quickly and didn't realize it controls our company calendar, so all of those events for the next 3 years are gone. No! Okay, but the annoying thing is someone else is probably going to have to re-input all of those events. Unfortunate. Very unfortunate indeed. A boss did that to me. He was mad that I wouldn't agree to an exit interview, so he deactivated my Gmail account and lost a ton of important documents housed in my drive, which honestly was a hilarious encapsulation of why I thought an exit interview would be unproductive. I mean, that's fair enough. Exit interview? Really? Do they do those? I feel like everybody in that situation will be hella bitter. Hella bitter and hella petty. And this is your reminder that employees have the power. And subscribe! Boss told me after massively overworking me that if I want to play in his sandpit, I need to toughen up. Told him I didn't want to play in the sandpit. I want time to lay in the lawn with my cats. He told me to take my cats and go to hell. He was bluffing. I wasn't. I quit. Coming at you from my lawn and with a nice glass of bubbly. I mean, it kind of looks like a sandpit. This happened at an old job. I told the bosses they couldn't deactivate the accounts of laid off people. They did. We lost almost every single document we had that organized our content, training, editorial plans. Bosses, how do you get it back? Us, you don't. We told you that. That's fun. I love that. My boss fired me because I was in the hospital for a week and a half, had doctor's notes, proof, etc. Then had the audacity to call me the next day asking if I could train the next office manager. As in your job? I saved their butts when they hired me. They went out of business 6 months later. Oh! And that's how the cookie crumbles. If you've seen my video about all the jobs I've ever had, I had this one job. It was when I first moved to Toronto and it was like literally like one of the worst jobs ever. I had to deal cards for like an online casino. Don't ask me why. I was desperate for a job, so I took it. And they were affiliated with Playboy. No hate, I just didn't want to wear a Playboy bunny costume. There were more than one type of costume and I chose not to wear it because I didn't want photos of me in a Playboy bunny costume on the internet. But when I refused to wear it, they didn't fire me, they just didn't give me any more shifts because if they fired me, then that would be illegal. I heard they went out of business a few months later. That's the best. My old boss deactivated my email 2 weeks before my leave date. He didn't know mine was the administrator account for all the emails in our small company. And no, I did not help them get it straightened out. Oh, I'm sorry, you want my help now? No, I just won't use you as a reference. One firm I used to work at, my boss fired my predecessor without realizing she was the only one in the office with the codes to the phone system, fax machine, copier, and network. Because as the boss said of himself, it's not my job to remember those things. Ha! They always act like we're dispensable. Until I once gave notice, then the day before my last day, the boss finally realized I was doing an entire department's work solo and there was no one to replace me. His boss's boss's boss was on the phone begging me to stay for twice my salary. No, you can crash and burn.
Thanks.
I adore that. They add stuff to your plate all the time, constantly adding things to your plate. And they're just like, oh, whatever. They don't pay you more either, by the way. They add things to your plate and then you're constantly doing more and more work, everybody else's work. People get fired, they leave because they hate it, and then you do their work. And then you want to leave because you're so freaking sick and tired of it. And then they realize, oh, you were literally the reason why this business was successful. I know, that's why I'm leaving. My partner quit his job. He gave them 2 weeks. IT wiped all of his everything the minute he left, including where he was storing all his code for in-progress projects. That code takes a really long time too, that's fun. Every few weeks someone texts him to see if he has anything so they don't have to start over. Nope, I don't. Oh, I'm so petty. This is just tickling my petty fancy. Fancy, not fanny, okay? Shush. Settle down. It's the little people in unglamorous jobs who actually run companies. Smart bosses realize that. Dumb bosses learn it at their peril. As we said when I was young and there were still secretaries, secretaries are God. This is why I'm afraid to get an assistant. Like, what happens if they leave and I rely on them too much? And then I'm just screwed, you know? I feel like it's better just to do everything myself, but now I'm really stressed out, so I don't know what to do. Busy is good, guys. Busy's good. I quit a job as an office admin and IT person due to a new abusive director. I told the board I would use the final week working from home, creating how-to for the next person. New director was pissed, blocked me, and deleted my account. The salve I get from this is knowing they lost a decade of files. Why do people gotta be petty, you know? Like, at the end of the day, it's business. People leave. Not everyone is meant to have a job forever. Realistically, jobs are not meant to be had forever. New opportunities come along all the time. If you were treating your employees better and paying them, you know, what they deserved, then maybe they wouldn't leave, right? So really, the only person that you have to be mad at is yourself if your employees leave. One time, I quit my office job and the department I'd been running fell into absolute shambles, and they called me up 9 months later, and now I make more than I've ever made in my life, and I'm buying a home for the first time ever. I love that! It sucks that you had to leave, though, for them to realize that. That's the way the cookie crumbles. I love how bosses, when someone quits, they're like, I'm gonna change the password. I'm gonna remove you from the system. So funny. That's like the first thing they do because they think that like you like want to be a part of like the system, and it's like, no, I don't. I'm taking this privilege away. I was a cook in a fast food steakhouse. One evening, right before rush hour, the manager fired the dishwasher for being flip. What does that mean? I walked out with him and we had a big laugh thinking about that MF cooking and doing the dishes. Oh, that's cute. That's very cute. Oh, I love that. Okay, so flip means flippant or disrespectful. But that also, like, you could just say that someone's being disrespectful, or maybe he was being disrespectful. Who knows? I wasn't there. Clearly, if this person walked out with them, then they probably weren't. That made me laugh. I was in a computing security group and a guy quit. They immediately blocked him from everything in fear of sabotage. Okay, that's fair. That makes sense that they could sabotage you because, you know, you guys didn't end on good terms. Why didn't you end on good terms is what I want to know. Every single server went down and nobody could log into anything. Chaos. Oh yeah, you pressed the big red button, didn't you? Uh-oh, made my boss mad by using the vacation days my boss gave me. Yes, very angry because your entire life is dedicated to working for me. Very, very angry indeed. The audacity of some people to need time off. Hey, I know you live kind of far, but a couple people called out today. Could you come in? For how long? I need you until close. Can you get in by 1 Eastern Standard Time? So in 48 minutes. Yes, is that an issue? I just might not be able to be there at 1 Eastern Standard Time. This is short notice on a Sunday. Surely you understand? I understand nothing. We've spoken about your unwillingness to come into work on call. We're a team here and you're acting like a bench player. Can I count on you? I live out of state and you text me. They do live out. Oh my God, they don't live in the same time zone. I live out of state and you text me less than an hour before you need me there, and I feel like you're not being understanding or giving me any grace with the situation. I'm trying to be flexible, but this is a difficult situation.
This is a difficult situation for all of us.
I had a manager and an associate call out on a Sunday. I just need you to step up to the plate for us, but as it's past 1 p.m., I don't see you've made your decision. I don't want to do this, but with Christmas coming up, when you get in, we'll discuss your future here. Whether you had other people call out or not is not my fault. No need to discuss anything. Have fun finding another cashier as ice cold on the register as me. I am out like sauerkraut. That's what's up. Out like sauerkraut. Sometimes instant karma is literally just like a really, really good response or a really good quitting message, you know? My old boss and this review describes him in a typical manner. The owner was very disrespectful today. I had purchased a cone, and after I told the workers, which were polite and good-mannered, if I can get a cup of water and ice, and the lady told me it was going to be from the sink and that was fine. She gave it to me and the owner said it was $1 for sink water and ice. The owner was disrespectful to the lady offering me a cup of water, but it was coming out of her paycheck. So I left the cup of water. Bad business. You did that in front of a customer, dude? That's crazy. That's literally crazy. $1 for a cup of water after someone had actually purchased something. Well, I guess this review is your instant karma. 2 weeks of telling my boss the produce in the warehouse is going bad. Him, don't worry about it. Oh, that's disgusting. Yucky. I remember when I was fired in the middle of a workday as I was trying to explain to my coworker what they would need. I was rushed out and couldn't finish. Of course, they called me 2 days later, but I was busy playing Yakuza. Sorry, very busy right now. I simply don't have the time. I saw something similar happen where I used to work. To cut costs, the owner wanted to get rid of the head of accounting. So he gets walked out of the building and some kid is hired in his place. 2 weeks later, all of the accounting macros stop working. Oops. Accounting is not something that you want to save money on.
Speaking from experience.
I'll never understand employers that want to save money. Like, at the end of the day, like, if you're a business owner, that's all a business expense. I don't get it. At least in Canada, a lot of our taxes is like from the money that you make. A lot of the money that we make goes to taxes. Yeah, I don't know. It just doesn't really make sense to me to do this. My last job called me a year into the pandemic asking me for passwords to emails they should already have. They said we could keep the laptops because they hoped to hire us back. I'd been deleting my work files once I realized they weren't rehiring us. I kept the 22-inch laptop. Of course you did. Anybody else, like, I don't know if you guys are still in contact with your bosses, but like anytime that they text me, like just like wanting to catch up or whatever, it literally makes me so anxious. Like I have like panic attacks. I don't think that's a good thing. Alrighty guys, those were some bosses that got what they deserved after an employee quit or got fired. I would call that poetic justice. Subscribe!
I've got something that you